Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of the Slow Runcast. Of course, I am your host, Muhammad Ali, aka the Iraqi Balboa, and I am joined by my friend and co-host, Durwin Luke, or as I prefer to call him, the Durwinator. Look at those muscles, baby. Look at those muscles.
I've got that post-workout pump going on.
Let's go. It's starting to get warm here in Calgary, Alberta again. This guy's already back in muscle shirt and shorts. Like, he only wore a jacket for like 1 week this year. You know, as soon as
it never stopped. I'm always in a tank and short.
I don't know how you doing, bro. I'm freezing. Fun stuff. How you been, man? How was your week?
Oh, yeah. I was out in Canmore this week, so it's like great. Like, weather's great. Got like a little walk in during my work breaks. Man, can't complain.
Was it cold out there?
No, it was actually really nice. I mean, I did wear like a light jacket for my walks, but yeah, it was great.
Nice.
Loved
Fun
it.
stuff, man.
Yeah. I obviously can't wear a tank to work, so I was wearing like actual clothes. But
So, explain to me why you would go to Canmore for work.
I do immunizations out there, so
Okay. That's fun. That's nice. So do they give you like place to stay for the week or however you're
I drive back every single day, so I get like a
drive.
rental car and they drive me, and then I drive back every single day
It'll be
after
nice
I'm
if
done.
they give you a spot to stay for the week.
I mean, I did actually stay in the housing there. So they have like these old, like, I guess, apartment style housing things that you can pay like $50 a night to stay. I was like, stayed there once, wouldn't do it again.
I was
It's kind
thinking
of gross.
more of like a nice Airbnb with like...
Oh, yeah, right. HS.
Yeah. Never mind. I'll take it back. Yeah.
We're financially responsible, okay? All right.
Yeah. You've been did you get up to any gaming this week or watching anything?
I did.
Man,
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I squeezed it in at the very end of the week, but yeah.
I've squeezed nothing in this week. I've been getting wrecked at work. I'm like, oh man, it's been so busy. But it's like, because it's like just before the start of construction season. So we have to get all these engineering design drawings out before construction season starts because you need to get all those approvals first. Yo, I'm getting cooked, man. I literally I would do my regular work and then come home and then put the kids to sleep. And then I'm like doing like a 9 to midnight shift.
Yeah. And then Ramadan has started for you.
Today's the first day. I feel great. I didn't even eat this morning.
Jeez.
I had to make a choice between eating or sleeping, and I'm like, I'll use the extra hours.
That's a big sacrifice, dude. You still got at this point in time, you still have like at least 6 hours, right?
No, I don't. I got like 5 hours. Not even. It's light work, bro. It's March Ramadan before daylight saving. Like, this is it. It's done. We're out of the hard Ramadans for like another 20 years now, so we're good, man. It's gonna be light work for going this. Yeah, bro. I don't even eat till like this point in time in the day, every day anyway. Just coffee, and maybe something else on top of the coffee, just so I don't feel the acid.
Did you get up early enough to have a coffee at least?
No, I didn't do anything. I slept in, bro. I was so tired, bro. Yesterday I was so tired. I was like, I wanted to go to sleep early, but my brother, he had his debut pro boxing fight.
Yeah.
In Thailand, and it was at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock our time, PM. So I was like, I gotta stay up to watch this fight.
You know when you get too old for social media and it shows. I saw that video you posted. And I was like, we're too old for social media. At the very end of the video, I see your control center.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh man, we're cooked.
I saw that, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna go back and change this.
Yeah, we're cooked.
I'm
too old for social media.
Yeah. So follow my brother. He's the_ABBASALI on Instagram. He's trying to do his own, like, I don't know who told him, like when he was in the UK recently training in the UK, they told him, yo, bro, you gotta like, it's all about like fans. You gotta start doing like vids, online reels. So he's been like doing like boxing reels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. unlike us, who we should be doing Gamecast reels, which I keep telling myself I'm gonna like. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna every time one of us says something funny, make sure I get that timestamp so I can go back and clip that.
Yeah, or is it?
Because my
Or do
friend
you just
actually
tell
clipped.
your wife to do it?
She's not doing anything, bro. I given up on her, bro. She's not. She's literally. I keep telling her. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. Your Instagram
Yeah,
is
that's
more
fair.
important than mine. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Instagram, you can follow us at the Slow Runcast on Instagram. We haven't been posting anything, but I keep promising that we will, but we'll see. But to get the podcasts, as soon as they drop, follow us and ring the bell on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts at the Slow Runcast. And we appreciate your support. If we can, if we can make it to a point where we could start asking for developers for review codes early, I'm happy. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. We've made it. We've made
We
it.
made it. I don't care about no monetization. I just want enough that the devs like, yeah, bro, here's a free code.
Yeah, just so we can at least experience the game a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So we could fund our hobby. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what we're not going to experience? We could jump right into it. We are not going to get to play
Blade.
the Wonder Woman game.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I've never given up on that.
I'm calling it here right now. Blade is Game of the Year 2026. Marvel's Blade. Yeah. Anyway, it is Wonder Woman from Monolith Studios. Unfortunately, like I think we talked 2 weeks ago, Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, and EA are on a 3-way race down to the bottom. And this week, it was Warner Brothers' turn to give us some bad news. They are closing 3 of their game studios and canceling Monolith's Wonder Woman game. I mean, it's Monolith Productions, who, as you know, are the developers behind Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, Middle-earth games, which are excellent games from the earlier part of the PS4 generation, I believe 2014 and 2017. They have not released a game since 2017. They were working on this Wonder Woman game that I believe got teased or shown either in 2020. Yeah, Game Awards 2021. A couple weeks ago, we announced that it got rebooted, right? Internally, it got rebooted. It wasn't doing good, so it was going to take they're basically starting from scratch. Now we know that it's gone. It's dead. Warner Brothers is closing down the studio, and they are shutting down, in addition, the Multiverses studio, Player First Games, and a mobile-focused studio, WE San Diego. So we also know that Multiverses recently, we heard that it was getting shut down too in March, I believe, and it was going offline mode. This was the game that came out in 2022 as a beta. It got much praise. It even won Fighting Game of the Year at the Game Awards. For whatever reason, these guys decided to take it offline and work on it before releasing it as 1.0. Its 1.0 release was in 2024 last year in May, and it didn't do very well, and now they're shutting it down. So yeah, this is terrible news.
Bad decision making, honestly.
Yeah, this is just terrible news. I really don't. I mean, what to say?
Yeah. Monolith, I think, was wanting to work on a different game, but then the sales for Shadow of War wasn't very good. And then they got basically reshuffled to work on Wonder Woman.
Yes, so Shadow of War, if you recall, had the controversy about the microtransactions, the loot boxes, which people didn't like very much, and that kind of damaged its reviews and sales. So
that was probably a game that was early for the loot boxes, right? It came out in 2017.
I feel like that was kind of peak loot boxes, and then before loot boxes were starting to get like bad rap. Yeah. So this is all being reported by Jason Schreier from Bloomberg. He basically said on the Kind of Funny Games podcast that Monolith after Shadow of War, didn't want to do another Middle Earth game. They wanted to do a new IP.
Mm-hmm.
They pitched the new IP to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers were basically doing this like thing where they drag their legs. You go to a meeting, you give them the information on what you're working on. They're like, yeah, keep working on it. But they don't really give you a budget. They don't really green light it. They don't really red light it. It's kind of in the middle. You don't know what's happening. Eventually, that game got canceled in 2021, I think. Whatever that game was that Monolith was working on. Upon that cancellation, it looks like the majority of Monolith's leadership actually left after that.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
And then we got this teaser for Wonder Woman, which was the game they then put on their shoulders in 2021. It turns out when that teaser came out in 2021, the game was like 6 months into development. It was a very early teaser.
Yeah.
And it was done because they were like, okay, man, we haven't shipped anything since 2017. Whatever they were working on is gone now. We need to start getting
some hype.
A marketing cycle going. So that's why Warner Brothers chose to do that. Gone now, man.
Yeah. Have you ever played the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games?
I didn't play Shadow of War, but I did play Shadow of Mordor. That game was like brilliant. Of course, very famous for the Nemesis system. This was the system that WB ended up patenting. In Shadow of War, you basically go in this open world kind of version of Mordor, where you go around and you kind of deal with these different orc factions, and they had this capability of like reacting to your behavior. You could intimidate them, you could injure them, and then they come back with like vengeance. You can like kind of torture them. You could force them to join your side, and
then if you die, right, that's when you form a nemesis bond with that particular enemy.
With that enemy, and that enemy will move up in the rankings for killing you in the game. And so it's like there's like a hierarchy of these orcs that their relationship changes with you depending on how you interact
how you die, or if you overwhelm them or something like that, right?
Yeah. So they patented that. This apparently this Wonder Woman game was supposed to have it when they did the reboot, like a month ago. Literally, I think we reported on it. They said they were taking it out. It just wasn't working. Yeah. We now know that this Nemesis system has been patented by WB until 2036. So for a total of like 20 years after Shadow of War would have been out.
Yeah, that's rough. So
that is rough.
Yeah. They need to do like a good guy thing. Like, I don't know if you heard as well, this might not be in our like news cycle, but EA had like released the files for what's it called?
Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer, Rebel or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't put it in the show notes, but yeah, I did read that this week.
Man, that was so like unexpected and like a good guy thing to do.
Yeah, they need to.
But, I mean, WB, like if you're not doing anything with the Nemesis system, like maybe just release that so that other game developers can use that idea.
I don't think they're gonna do that. Who's gonna even use this Nemesis system now? It's not Monolith. I mean, Avalanche, I think, is probably gonna be working on another Harry Potter game. Yeah, I feel like that Harry Potter game was a curse and a blessing for Warner Brothers.
For Warner Brothers, yeah.
It was almost like, oh my god, we're so invincible. We can make this much money. It's not. And then I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Like you're not gonna release a game like Harry Potter, like Hogwarts Legacy, every time you make a big AAA game. That was like a 1 in 100 chance or whatever.
Yeah, and it had such a popular like franchise attached to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. Do you care about Wonder Woman?
I think it would have been interesting to see. I mean, I probably would have given it a try for sure, but
yeah,
only if the reviews were like good. Like, it's not a Batman game. If it's a Batman game that like is very similar to like Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, then like I'm in. And that doesn't all have like the stupid Gotham Knights gimmick. Yeah. Even though I did give it a try and didn't like it. Yeah.
It feels like that Hogwarts Legacy is the only good game that's come out of WB in the last like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
We had Suicide Squad, we had Gotham Knights, Multiverses, which was kind of good, but it just feels like he got killed by management. I don't like that game was
Yeah.
actually good when I played the beta. Like it was actually fun.
Yeah.
It
Given
felt like
that
a
it's
smash
a
killer.
kind of live service game, right?
You know the crazy thing is they like bought this studio recently.
Hmm.
Like they were funding Multiverses, but then they decided to just buy them, and now they shut them down. It's crazy. I mean, obviously we've been talking about this for a year now. All these layoffs, all these closures, all these cancellations. It's everything's going downhill. I guess this kind of ties us to our next story, which I think was really important, and it does show why we're getting a little bit of what's going on in the industry. This is the news that is coming out of Circana. We had some news from Circana last week. This is formerly NPD, and it is from video game industry analyst Matt Piscatella. He reports that more than 40% of total time spent playing PS5 or Xbox Series X and S games in the US last month was spent on only 10 live service games. We don't know those games exactly. There's been some speculation. I don't know why he didn't report those games, considering that he has this data. I imagined the games itself would be reported, but there are suggestions that it's basically Call of Duty, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5 online, NBA 2K25, Marvel's Rivals, Roblox, Minecraft, Madden NFL 25, and then potentially Destiny 2, Apex Legends, Rocket League, college football.
Yeah.
We don't know
The
exactly.
usual suspects.
The usual suspects. In addition to this, he also reported that more than 70% of active PS5 and Series X users in the US played at least one of these top 10 live service games in January.
Man.
So 70% of people who have an Xbox and Series X played one of these games in January, and 40% of all playing time in January was these games.
Jeez. I'm part of that 30% that doesn't.
I think
I
I
don't know
might
about
be part
you.
of the 70% because I played
Yeah.
Marvel's Rivals. Yes.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals. I'm sorry. Marvel Rivals. It doesn't roll off the tongue right.
That's
Yeah.
wild. I guess live service games still are a thing for sure. I wonder how much play time I wonder if he'll have the stats on like how much average play time this 40%.
Well, 40% this is all the playtime. If you took all the players that are on in Canada or in the US, I don't think it's Canada. I think it's just US. Yeah, if you took all the US users on Series X and S and PlayStation, you combined all their playtime together and you divided it based on the games they played, 40% of
40%
that total
of it.
playtime.
Yeah, I wonder like total hours how much that would be as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
probably
crazy.
pretty ridiculous, but like, yeah, I mean, that's still pretty crazy to think that 40% of all users are of all that time is all just for live service.
It is still going down though, because apparently the peak for total video game market spending and total players and hours peak was in 2021, which makes sense. This was the
Okay.
whole COVID push, right? Remember COVID 2020,
Yeah,
2021? People were going crazy. Like, remember PS4s were like secondhand. People were selling them for MSRP.
yeah.
Yeah, because
I
everybody
I
was
heard
locked in.
I heard like 3DSs were going up too because a lot of
Yeah,
people were like trying to get that handheld itch as well.
yeah.
And 3DS
So
was a pretty popular option back then.
yeah, so we know like 2021 was a peak year. This might also be an issue why we're getting all these closures because people were investing in 2021. All these game companies were going crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
the console industry is like a zero growth industry now. It's like an aged industry. It's stagnant, you know what I mean? There's no like year after year like
Increase of
growth
player
in
count.
console. Like there was an increase in the COVID kind of thing, and that's maybe why some of these people freaked out and started buying companies up and investing. And now it's down again. It's
Mm-hmm.
um
Talking about something that never dies.
well, sorry, that was I don't want to cut off your good segue, but I do want to mention that there's more to this than just what we said. If you keep reading the report, it says that 66 titles accounted for 80% of the playtime in 2023.
66 titles.
This was from a previous report, but yeah, same thing. 66 titles accounted for 80%. So 80% of all playing time was only 66 games. So think about the market you're in when you release a AAA game. That's crazy. And then 60% of the time spent in games were on games that were 6 years and older. Yeah.
Jeez.
I recommend, again, Kind of Funny Games podcast. They had Matt Piscatella on, and he elaborated some more. He gave some information. He thinks that a lot of the market is riding on Switch 2 and GTA 6 to kind of revive some of this. Like people will go buy the PS5s to play GTA 6 and stuff like that. Or buy Switch 2 to play some new games.
Yeah, I think basically every single Switch owner is most likely going to buy a Switch 2.
You
I don't
think?
know if you share that same sentiment?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, hey?
No way, man. I think the Switch 2 Switch 1 is a peak. So not only is the Switch 2 is not going to have as much attachment rate.
You think
a lot of people are like, think about everyone who owns a Switch. You think everyone who owns a Switch is going to go buy a Switch 2 day one? No.
Maybe not day one, but like I think the sales numbers should be very comparable. I don't think it's going to slow down.
I disagree. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I disagree, but I don't know.
We'll have to come back and we'll review the numbers in the same time frame.
It's going to sell good. It's going to sell good. It's not going to be Wii U, but I don't think it's going to be Switch. I don't think it's that much of an incremental increase to be a Switch.
Okay, I guess we'll have to see. I think I have very good
feeling about
hopes,
it. High hopes.
High hopes that the Switch 2 will potentially outsell the Switch.
Yeah. Anyway, reiterate, if you want to know more about the Warner Brothers news, there's an episode with Jason Schreier on Kind of Funny Games cast, and he elaborates more on what was happening at Monolith. If you want to know more about this study from Matt Piscatella, he was on Kind of Funny Games cast, and he elaborated more. And he even mentioned that apparently the new console hardware buyers in 2024 were people 44 years and over. Like basically his study is like the young ones are not buying PS5s and Series X's. They're really not. Mm-hmm. Like the young ones are all on mobile, like iPads, whatever it is, and on PC. Those are the two markets that are experiencing growth. It's literally the old heads still on console. Like the console, I think the console market is just going to keep getting older. Anyway, those are two
70-year-olds buying PS5s or PS8s in a few more years for us.
Can't wait. If I retire early, I'm going to catch up on my backlog.
Yeah.
I just hope I have like the dexterity in my hands to keep playing.
We're gonna have to get you that accessibility controller. Then you'll have an opinion to say during the accessibility awards.
Oh
for
my god!
For video game
for
awards.
Game Awards. Oh, yo, you're wild. I'm gonna
talking about things that literally you could play for maybe 100 more years.
And it'll
Pokemon Day.
Pokemon Day. We had the Pokemon Presents. There was the segue that I cut you off from. So
I found another way.
Yeah. Did you watch the Pokemon Presents?
I did.
Okay. I'll let you take it then. Any thoughts?
I thought it was just like an all right Pokemon Day. Yeah, it was very mid. So obviously they always do this for Pokemon Day. They always do little like events for their like mobile games. So like what is it?
Dude, I was so surprised. I didn't realize how many Pokemon mobile games there are.
Dude, there's so many. Like there's a Pokemon Cafe that's getting like an update or something like that.
Pokemon Cafe.
Pokemon TCG is getting an update. Pokemon like Dual Master. Is it Dual Master or something?
I don't know. I've never seen this game before. Dual Masters.
Oh, I played it before.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
There was another one. There was like the MOBA game. What was it called?
Is it like Pokemon Rush or something? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, the MOBA game's getting like Suicune. What was the
Pokemon
other?
Unite.
Yeah, there you go. there were some other small like eventual characters coming out as well. Yeah, like just a bunch of updates to their mobile and like their MOBA
And to Scarlet
games.
and Violet. There were some updates to
Scarlet and
Scarlet and
Violet,
Violet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then there's a new Pokemon Champions game announced. That one seems like it's also going
yes.
to be very multiplayer.
So we
Like
didn't
I
know
heard
about
Pokemon
this.
Stadium.
Did we know
Sorry,
about this or no? Did we know about this before the event? I don't think so.
I don't
Pokemon
think
Champions?
so. I've never heard anything about it.
Yeah. It's on iOS, Android, and Switch.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a Pokemon Stadium, was what I understood it to be.
Yeah.
When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, interesting. Pokemon Stadium. Like, there's more episodes of Pokemon Concierge coming out later this year. They've also released the first, I think, 5 episodes to YouTube to watch for free. Otherwise, it's on Netflix.
First 4. I'm just reading it
First
right
4,
now.
okay.
Yeah, first 4. Yeah.
And then they updated us on Pokemon Legends Z to A. It's going to be coming out later in 2025, is what I understood.
It's actually called Pokemon Legends ZA. Not Z to A, not ZA like I've been calling it. It's just ZA. Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah. It takes place in Luminois City. I think I remember playing a game with that city that was featured. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, I can't.
It looks like they're moving away from the realistic slash like more realistic looking Pokemon that we saw in Scarlet and Violet, and it's just back to like normal textures from what I remember as a kid. So yeah, I mean, it was a very mid event. I nothing really excited me. I don't know about
Yeah, there wasn't a
you.
release date for ZA. ZA doesn't look good to me, like graphically. I was hoping it would look better, but then again, we know it's not a Switch 2 game technically. It's a Switch 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's going to look better on the Switch 2. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything like I was kind of interested by Pokemon Legends Arceus when that came out. So I thought this would be like Pokemon Legends ZA. This will be the next one. Maybe this will be enough for me to. No, probably not.
Nah, doesn't do it for you.
Nah, it doesn't do it.
Well, it's probably a game that I'll review then.
Pokemon Champions looks like a game I'm interested in.
What?
I'm actually more interested.
The free to play game.
No. The
Is Champions not going to be free to play?
It's on the Switch. I doubt it's free to play.
No, there's games on there that are free to play. Like Pokemon
That's
Cafe
true.
is free to play
On the Switch, yeah.
on the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. The monetization might be brutal, but I might give that one a try.
It doesn't say if it's going to be a paid game or not. There's not too much information about it.
There isn't, no.
Yeah. But I have a feeling it's going to be a free to play game. Did you also hear that they want to try and milk this franchise for like another 100 years or something?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, so this Pokemon Day, the CEO believes the series, I don't know if it's like the game or just like the franchise, can last another 50 to 100 years.
How can you guarantee anything will last that long?
Dude, I mean, do you think these people are gonna give up on ripping packs?
No, it's just there's other things like climate change, war, like these kind of things.
Potentially World War III. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
Nuclear fallout. There's. I guess if you're in the nuclear shelters, you'll have Pokemon games in there. I got a nasty itch to rip some packs, bro. I've been looking at.
Did you buy any of the Magic and?
I'm sorry. What the heck did I just do there? I turned on Siri by accident. Sorry. Say that again.
Did you end up pre-ordering any of the Magic and Final Fantasy?
I'm literally looking at them right now at GameStop.
Dude, they're expensive.
That's why I stopped, because my buddy who's really heavy into TCG, follow him on Instagram. Most TCG. Shout out to Mosey. He's like number something on eBay in Canada. TCG seller.
Man's just made a career out of this.
Top 10. I swear to God.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, he told me the best one was the booster. That was where we get all the cards, but it's like $390.
Yeah, for a full box though, right?
Steep, bro. That's steep. Yeah, these are like the individual packs are $15. I see.
$15 a pack?
Yeah, these are kind of it's pricey.
Jeez, that's
But I got an
aggressive.
itch, bro. But the other thing that stopped me was I was looking at the cards and I was not that impressed
Oh, I
with
thought
art.
you were gonna say the other thing that stopped you was your family.
Oh, dude, no, that doesn't stop me. I don't spend a lot of money, man. So when I do spend money, I'm allowed. Like I'm like my credit card's pretty like dead, and then they'll be like, "Oh, okay,
Damn,
I'm
damn.
gonna."
I think we're opposites here.
Oh,
As
big time, brother.
I spend money.
You spend money. Yeah,
I ended up buying this thing.
bro, your bank account is crying, bro, crying. The money goes straight from the taxpayer. The money in Derwin's, almost called you Winston. In Derwin's bank account goes straight from the taxpayer to AHS to Derwin's pocket to Silicon Valley tech industry. It just funnels
It's just bad.
that
Every
money.
single week I feel like I'm coming in showing off like something
Bro,
different.
I have such a hardware itch. I have such a hardware itch. But I'm like, bro, I'm not even like gaming right now. I'm so tired. I'm so busy with work. Where am I? But
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, I want to buy a Steam Deck. I want to buy a Lenovo. Like so bad. I'm always like,
it's because we work so hard for our money and we just go want to buy things for us.
oh, dude, but these packs, man. I just want to rip these packs. I want to rip something nice, man. Is there a good Pokemon set coming out?
I have no idea. Don't ask me about any of those trading cards. That's actually something I don't spend money on.
You don't spend money on, yeah.
No, no, no,
That
no.
was freaking 2020 for
Yeah.
me, 2021.
Talking about Winston though. Shout out to that guy. Happy
Shout
birthday.
out to Winston. Happy birthday, Winston. How old is he now? Do we know? Is there still a mystery?
No idea.
I think he's
He would
32
probably
or
kill me if I
33.
said his
He's
actual
33.
age on
Yeah,
this.
yeah. He looks 10 years younger than me, and I'm probably 5 years younger than him.
You look older than me, and I'm older than you.
I look older than, like, I'm almost going to look older than my dad at this rate.
It's all the stress from playing all these video games.
It's maybe I'm not sleeping enough. Yeah.
What is this
I'm not even
Annapurna?
interactive showcase. All right.
Yeah, yeah. What is
So
that?
this is now. So Derwin was preaching the Pokemon Bible. Now it's time for me to preach the indie games Bible. So Annapurna Interactive, who are one of my favorite publishers out there, they publish mostly independently developed games. Unfortunately, recently they had a shakeup where the entirety of the team basically quit. Basically the entirety of the Annapurna publisher like team quit. This was like earlier this year, and they actually went on to start their own kind of publishing studio. So I'm looking forward to see when those guys get kicked off. Annapurna's still around, new leadership, whatever, and they already have all the IPs that they were going to publish. They had their showcase where they went into some indies. We got to see Wheel World, which is this Zen chill biking game where you're just on a bike and you kind of go around this world in a Zen mode. Kind of reminds me of Lonely Mountains, Snow Riders, or Snow whatever it was. Down Snow something. Yeah, the skiing game that I played earlier, this game that I loved. Wander Stop, which is the first game from the Stanley Parable co-director. And it is this cozy game that has this kind of dark twist. When I saw this demo, when I saw this first announced maybe a year ago now, definitely sparked my interest. It comes out March 11th. So we have a release date for it. We got to see Skin Deep, which is this game where you're kind of in a spaceship working as a kind of contractor for defense on the spaceship, and you get raided by pirates, and you're supposed to stop them. It launches on PC on April 30th, and its demos out as part of the Steam Next Fest. So that's Skin Deep, Lush Photography Sim, which was one of my highlights for this. It is basically, Durwin, I think you should look into this. It's basically a photography sim where you go around and you take pictures of the world, and there's like multiple locations across the world. East Asia, Western Europe. I don't know if there was any South American locations or
Is it gonna play like Pokemon Snap
Africa.
does?
I don't know. It seems it's very much a photography sim. It's very sim. It just gives you the ability to go to these worlds. We got some brief news from so that one comes out April 15th. I'll remind you when we're closer to the date. We also got some brief news from the Cocoon developers, which is a very good game. This is kind of one of the offshoot games from the original Limbo and Inside developers. Then we got this game Far Away. We saw this, I think, last year. We got some more look. It was supposed to come out earlier this year, but it looks like it's been internally delayed. It is a one developer studio, one person developer, and it's this cool game where you're like this star that kind of flies in the sky and you make constellations. Really like that. To a T, which is from the Katamari Damacy creator Keita Takahashi. Looks pretty cool, cozy game where your character's like stuck in a T-pose. Looks really silly. We got Morpheus, which is we didn't see too much of this, but it's you're a cute little mouse and you have to fight these killer cats. And lastly, we got an update on Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I just beat and played 2 weeks ago. That I love this game a lot. Very short indie game, rhythm game, but we got an update that has come to PS5, complete with like DualSense
nice
features,
DualSense support.
So I'm like, I wish I knew this. I would have just played it when it came out now. So that's just a quick kind of update. If you're into indie games like I am, I recommend watching this showcase. It's really short, 20-30 minutes. And I love Annapurna Interactive. I love anything they publish. Lots of gems from there. This brings us into our next news story, which is also an indie showcase, but this is coming from Xbox. This is the ID at Xbox showcase for February 2025. Xbox usually has one or two of these a year where they kind of go over and a few indie games and show us some indie games that are coming out and most likely coming to Game Pass. They started off pretty strong. Balatro is now coming to Game Pass. And it is, I checked right now this morning, and it is live. So if you have not played Balatro and you have a Game Pass subscription, either on Xbox or PC, I cannot recommend this game enough. We've talked about this a lot here on the Slow Run Cast. We love it. I love it. You love it. A bunch of my friends love it. Your brother-in-law loves it. We love this game. In addition, there's an update for some of the card art styles. And we are getting, because you know how you could change your suit.
To like Dave the Diver.
There's different IPs, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, whatever. We are getting this is called the Friends of Jimbo update. We are getting customizations for Fallout, Assassin's Creed, Buck Snacks, Civilization, Slay the Princess, Friday the 13th. Crazy
that's
stuff.
A lot.
That's a lot. There was a lot. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna hop onto Balatro after this.
Do you know what they could do? Like, I'm not like maybe don't want to give them this idea, but like they should make a whole bunch of these custom card packs and then like loot box them.
Dude, I already said, bro. I said just make me physical cards for Balatro
for purchase.
Some of these IP, I'll buy them. If it's packs you rip, I'll rip them. I'm like, I'd collect them all.
Dude, that'd be so hard. Like 52 of them, 52 cards, and you have to buy
plus
packs.
The different art styles for the kings, queens, and
jacks.
Yeah. And then you get them. Or with the Jokers. You have all the Jokers in the packs too. 150 Jokers. Foil, hollow versions. It's crazy, bro. That would be insane, man. I don't know why no one has done that yet. I don't know. Like, imagine. That you get like the hollow version, the foil version, super rare Joker. Oh, dude.
The negative versions.
Oh, God. That would be amazing, bro. That would be such a sick pack to rip. Yeah. So, by the way, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
You should contact the developer and see if you can get that going. That'd be sick.
I don't know. He's kind of against this whole. He doesn't want his game to be like a gambling game, so I don't know how he'd feel about.
Yeah, but it's not gambling if you're buying merch, right? Like Like either if he like can work with someone to make these as playing cards, and you can buy them as like a deck,
Yeah.
or like you do the playing cards, but then you do the booster packs for the Jokers
Yeah.
separately, right? So then at
Separately.
least you're buying a base deck, so you actually can use those 52 cards to play games.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Joker packs as like just like collectibles.
I mean, I'd also do the same for like Queen's Blood from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, I loved that game too. Earlier last year, that in-game card game in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, bro. If they sold packs with those cards, I'm in. Moving on, we got Tron Catalyst. A release date for this game, it is June 17, 2025. This game looks like a top-down roguelike. Really good. I don't really know much about the Tron IP, which is owned by Disney, but this game looks really good. Looks really polished. June 17. I don't know if it said if we were getting it on Game Pass, but most of these games are basically making it to the
Yeah, I
showcase
mean,
because
if
they're
it's
coming on Game Pass.
Xbox developed, right? Most likely.
Yeah. They topped off the event with Lies of P. Overture takes us back to the beginning of an exciting new adventure. This is the DLC for Lies of P. It is the Souls-like that came out in 2024, the Bloodborne-like specifically, that got very good reviews. It is basically based on the Pinocchio IP. We are getting this DLC, which takes place before the events of the game. Shout out to my friend Faisal. He really loves this game. So you should probably give this a try. I really want to try this game too.
Yeah.
We got a early access launch date for 33 Immortals, and it is locked in for March 18th. This is the game from the developers of Spiritfarer, excellent indie game from 2018, 19. And this is their first game since. It is a co-op action roguelike where you could play with up to 33 players at the same time.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. This is coming to Game Pass day one. Next is we have Revenge of the Savage Planet, which is the sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet. There's a change here where now it's a third-person game. It's got a release date, March 8th, Game Pass day one. It gives me like Ratchet and Clank vibes. Looks really cool. I'm excited to hop into this one. It's very colorful space kind of alien exploration game where lots of baddies, lots of different weapons you could use. Other games that were announced or shown: Jump Ship, which is this co-op space game where it's bringing in a bunch of stuff. It looks like a little bit like Sea of Thieves, Left 4 Dead. No date for this one. Early access this summer. We got a spiritual successor to Patapon. Have you played Patapon on PSP or PS Vita? Okay, now I believe it's a game from Japan Studios. Yeah, there's lots of cameos for it on. It's 2007 Japan Studio game on the PlayStation Portal.
Okay.
Portable, not the Portal. PlayStation Portable, PSP. There is a spiritual successor to this game, not officially being developed by Sony or the same IP. It's called Ratatan. It is like a rhythm-based action game, side-scrolling. Looks amazing. I am so excited for this one. A 2025 release window. Oh, we got Echo Weaver, which is a Metroidvania where you have to get a perfect loop. This one doesn't have a date. Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, arriving to Game Pass day one. No date on this one. Blueprints, which is a game I'm very excited for. At the last Sony State of Play, we were told that it was going to come to the middle tier of PS Plus, PlayStation Essential. We now know it's also coming to Game Pass, and we have a date for it, April 10th. Really looking forward to this one. It's like that puzzle game where you're inside a big manor, like a big house that has 45 rooms, and you have to find the 46th room. Herdling is this game where you're kind of like herding these mythical sheep-like creatures, and you have to keep them alive. This is also coming to Game Pass, summer 2025. Outbound, cozy game where you're kind of renovating your Volkswagen van, and you're going on these road trips. Don't have a date for this, but it's coming 2026. Hotel Barcelona star has an insane serial killer living inside of her. This is Hotel Barcelona, and we do not have a game for this. This game looks, I don't know. I liked the arts. I didn't like the art style for the actual game. I like the art style for the art around the game, like the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The actual game kind of turned me off. This is also side scrolling. So we also got Tanuki Pon, this BMX bike game, Tanuki Pon Summer. It's this BMX bike game where you do these deliveries in this beautiful Japanese town. It is from the developers of, I don't have the dev here though. They did a game, I think, like completely different game. I can't remember what it was. I don't goes over my head right now, but yeah. We got Whack Heads, which is this cozy punk slice of life narrative sim. Rock Beasts, also kind of like a narrative sim about a 90s rock band. Descenders, which is giving me straight up Lonely Mountain vibes, like the skiing game. This is the snowy. It's like a snowboarding game, but it also is like these skateboarding game. I don't know what exactly. They're not skateboards. They're long boards, and you're going down like jumps. It's extreme sports games always get me. This is April 9th. Tempo, also a rhythm-based game, April 17. Wudo, which is a cozy game with wooden creatures. No date on this one. Lonesome Guide. It is the next coming game from Don't Nod. Next upcoming game from Don't Nod. And it is, holy smokes, this audio is, yeah, it's like this 3D or like top down, like almost Hades viewpoint aspect game, where you're doing, you're this ghost and you kind of have companions, but you could control your companions to do different move sets. Action game as well, where there's enemies and what have you, and puzzles to solve. The last one, which I'm really interested in, is Buckshot Roulette. It's coming to Game Pass. I believe this game was already out on something last year. Anyway, this is like, you got to see the trailer for me to explain it. It looks really cool. Looks like a pretty like a multiplayer kind of party game.
Oh, I've seen videos with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Really
like
excited for that.
it's basically you're playing Russian roulette, but then there's like certain skills that you can have to like kill the monster that you're playing with, basically.
Yeah.
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 It looks interesting as hell, but yeah, it also looks kind of creepy. So
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. So that is the idea at Xbox Showcase. Also look into that if you're into any of these games or into indie games and want to have a look. It is my forte for sure. I'm gonna get Durwin on it eventually, like I got him on VR.
we'll see.
We'll see. Sticking with Xbox, we have some official news from Xbox. Fable is delayed to 2026. This is the Fable reboot being developed by Playground, who are the developers of the Forza Horizon series, and it is being co-developed by Eidos Montreal. Basically, on Xbox YouTube page, they dropped a kind of Xbox Game Studios dev update. Talked about Avowed, South of Midnight, and they mentioned Fable. Fable was slated for 2025. It didn't actually have a solid date, but it's been moved to 2026. So, unfortunate if you're looking forward to Fable. I don't mind this delay because, like, Xbox is really bringing it this year. And I don't mind if they chill out and leave a few releases for next year.
Yeah, that definitely makes
like,
sense.
They literally had, like, year after year of, like, straight drought. And this year, they're, like, really bringing it. I mean, we had Avowed already. We have Clair Obscur, South of Midnight, Doom, in addition to all these other, like, games that are indie games that are coming out on Game Pass. Lots of stuff coming on Game Pass. And this is just the first half of the year, so they could chill out. I know you wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Fable.
Yeah, I mean, I was always interested in the game, especially like growing up. Like the cover art looks really cool, especially Fable 2. The cover art for Fable 2 was really interesting. So I'm super excited to try and play like an actual like remake of it and experience the story firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, 2026 might be a better year than 2025 based on like what's coming out so far.
Yeah. You should look at this video. This is with Craig Duncan, who is, I think, in charge of Game Studios. Yeah, Game Studios had Duncan. Go to minute like 16 on the video, and they actually show some like alpha footage of the game.
Nice.
It looks really good. It looks like the forest and the buildings, everything looks really lush. Yeah. Speaking of Playground Games and the Forza Horizon 5 developer, we have a release date for the PS5 version. And it is coming out on April 25. If this is the first time you're kind of joining us, this is part of the whole Xbox kind of push to get all their product on other platforms. This is them going third party. So we've iterated this a lot. You could listen to some of our other episodes, but now I made this prediction earlier this year, and now it's like it just seems to be like so like yeah, of
Yeah, so
course.
obvious.
It's so obvious now, but yeah. Are you gonna hop into this on PlayStation?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I've
Have you
played
played it on
Horizon.
Xbox?
Yeah, I have. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Racing games just don't hit the same anymore for me. I think I just don't have the attention span for it.
You got to try GT7 VR, bro, on PS5. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that might bring in like the next level of immersion, but I just find like after a few races, I just get like,
No, it's so fun,
yeah,
man. GT7 VR is so fun. And that
yeah.
ties us in. Let's see that segue, bro. What a segue. What a segue, folks. I'm the king. Because our next story is PlayStation VR 2 is getting a permanent $150 price cut next month. So now is your chance to get into GT7 on VR, because you could go buy a PSVR 2 for $400, and if you could get a bundle with Horizon Call of the Mountain, that's $400 USD, of course. So it'll probably be, I don't know,
That's still too much.
it'll still be like 500 here. Yeah, bro, I bought it for $730 when it came out, or $720, because I bought it bundled with Call of the Mountain, and it was the bundle didn't save you any money. You just came with Call of the Mountain.
There's
So
a lot of
$70.
actual sites now that are selling like refurb versions of the VR2 for 350 Canadian. I don't know if you've seen a few of those websites. I don't know how I would feel about using somebody's like sweaty
Refurbished, yeah,
VR2,
sweaty
but
VR.
I mean, let's be real here. Like, how many games are these people playing with the VR2?
If they got rid of it, yeah.
Yeah, if they got rid of it, you know.
Play some VR right now. Maybe let's finish this podcast. I'll get on some VR. Problem is, I can't play VR if my kid wakes up, bro. Because I don't know what he's doing in the room, right?
You're just about to drop kick him.
Just, yeah, exactly. I keep having to put the what's the word? I'm blanking out.
Pass through?
The pass through, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sticking with PlayStation, we got some news about the canceled Twisted Metal game, which was one of their 12 live service games that they were supposed to release by 2026. This is from the CV of a developer. It was apparently supposed to be a battle royale with third-person shooting. Yikes. It was in development by Firesprite, which is one of Sony studios. Firesprite are the people who also did Horizon Call of the Mountain, the VR game, which I just mentioned. Yeah, it was supposed to come out with the Twisted Metal TV series that launched in 2023. But yeah,
well,
didn't make it through.
That's great. Talking about some third-person hunting, Monster Hunter Wilds.
This is the big game of the week and arguably the biggest release of the year so far. Monster Hunter Wilds is out. It came out yesterday, and it is hitting astronomical numbers. It is the 5th all-time on Steam concurrent player count, peaking at 1.3 million. Holy smokes. That's insane, man.
That's a lot of people, considering I've heard that the game doesn't run that great on PC. But nope. PS5, though, runs great from what I hear.
Yeah. So right now, it is the second highest concurrent player count behind Counter-Strike 2 with 733 players. 733,000 players. Ahead of PUBG Mobile. It broke Dota 2's peak concurrent player count. That's
crazy.
Insane, bro. Dota 2. It's blew Marvel Rivals out of the water. You know what's crazy, though? I feel like every year we're getting more and more of these games that like break concurrent player counts. Like last year, it was like Helldivers. And then
Black
it was
Myth,
like
right?
Marvel Rivals and then Black Myth.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It just seems like every year we get this game that's like, oh no, this is the new one. So very successful launch for Capcom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you
their
a
money
question.
back.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, even though it's not like you said, like I think the Steam reviews are not very good for this. The user reviews.
I think it's like a 54% on there just because of those issues.
Yeah, have you seen some of the images?
I haven't.
They're terrible, bro. It's literally it's mixed reviews right now. 3 out of 5 stars. It's not properly optimized for PC. It looks horrendous.
Yeah, it's rough.
Horrendous, which is unfortunate. This is not the first time we get an awful. Bro, look at this. Yo, this is crazy, dude. I'm going to send you an article right now.
Okay.
Look at this, bro. Look at this. I'll put it at the bottom here by the last story.
Okay.
From PC Gamer. Click it. Yo, you got to put this in the cast. Can you put this in the podcast, bro?
That's so funny.
I'll
put it over your face.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's bad.
The critic reviews, on the other hand, are completely different. This game is the highest critic rated game of the year so far. 90 on Metacritic. So exciting launch for Capcom. I guess the question is, Durwin, are we going to hop into this game? Because I've been on the fence the whole time, and it came out yesterday, and I didn't pre-order a copy, and I didn't go out to buy a copy.
I don't know, man. Is it worth it? $90 for a risk, considering we both did not like the last Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so I guess maybe we should probably elaborate on that. Friend of mine and a friend of the show, Adam Boufaris, shout out to Adam. He is a big Monster Hunter fan. He tried to get us all onto Monster Hunter Worlds back in 2019. He had a LAN party at my house. We played for like 6 hours. Dude, I was so turned off by that game. Instantly turned off. That I was like, yeah, I don't want to. Just so much tutorials, so much like little details, so much reading menus. It was just weird to get into someone else's game. It was not very streamlined. I also didn't really like how it controlled, like this whole way you couldn't really like lock onto a beast. It was kind of weird. So anyway, Monster Hunter Worlds was not.
Yeah, I also had the same like bad experience, like tutorial wise. It's too much to read. Like,
yeah, I heard this is more streamlined though.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very interested, considering, like I have FOMO. That's the right word.
Yeah,
I have lots of FOMO right now. Yeah, I have lots of FOMO. I don't know. I talked to some of my boys, but they're not. They're on the fence.
Either?
They're on the fence like me. So it's gonna need someone to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one buddy of mine who I told him, like, "Yo, are we gonna get in?" He's like, "Bro, you guys didn't want to play the last one." So I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And the other buddy of mine who wanted to get in is on PC, and after he saw all this, he's like, "Yo, I'm not playing this on PC."
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So I don't blame him too either. So we'll see, man. Monster Hunter though, and also like, bro, this release schedule, like this is a game that's gonna take up your life, right?
Yeah, it's not hey, you can play this for like 20 hours and be done.
And call it. No, bro. And then the release schedule this month, it's too much, man. We have next week, which I am getting day 1. I don't care. Split Fiction, March 6th. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I kind of wish I played the Monster Hunter beta. I was also really busy that week, so I didn't get into it. And I was playing Elden Ring Night Ring beta.
You're just not as committed as some of these people at Pal World Studio.
Oh, baby. Nice segue. Nice segue, Durwin.
We're getting real good at this.
We're 2 for 2 for segues. So tell them here, what's going on at the Pal World Studio Pocket Pair?
So it seems like Power World Studio is giving their developers a day off to play Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah,
So
so it
they've
would have
been
been yesterday they
apparently
gave him a day off.
yeah, so they've apparently been getting these mysterious notices from staff saying that they'll be ill on Friday. Dude, this reminds me
Like
when
6 people called
GTA
in
comes
sick.
out.
6 people called in sick. Have you ever called in sick for a video game? Or taken a vacation day
Yes.
to play a video game?
Yes. I
What?
can remember when too. Specifically, it was for I think Horizon Forbidden West.
You
I
you
like
called in or you
called
took a
in.
vacation day?
No,
Oh.
I called in. I think I called in.
I took a vacation day for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree.
That was very recent.
That was recent. Yeah, I literally took a day off. I used one of my vacation days. My buddy took the day off too, and he came over and we played Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree co-op. That was fun. That was good throwback.
Nice.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, maybe I'll talk to my boss about giving us a day off for GTA. Oh, actually, I have a coworker who she's into gaming, and I was talking to her about Carmen. If you're gonna start listening to the show, shout out to Carmen. But I was showing her the show. I'm like, yo, if you want to talk, you can just listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
And she's really into RuneScape, like crazy.
Oh,
Her and her boyfriend, and
dude, the RuneScape memes are so good. Though.
She's like into it hard. And I talked to her like a year ago about this, and she's been into it for like 3 years. And she told me I take a week off every year to play RuneScape. I'm like, wait. So one of your vacation days a year goes to play RuneScape? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you? Is that the week you go to Cancun? You're actually just at home playing RuneScape? She's like, no. I go and tell them I'm playing RuneScape. Yeah. So
Oh man.
I was like, holy smokes, you're crazy. That's sick. I mean, that's exciting, but I mean, I have 2 vacation weeks a year. There's no way I could spend one doing something like that.
Well, hopefully us two are not working as hard as Konami and Bloober on working
Oh
on.
yeah. But yo, I hate to say it, you ruined my segue.
Oh,
I had a
what
segue
was
for
yours?
that. You just pulled out your segue. Oh man, dude, my segue was gonna be the reason why I'm like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about buying Monster Hunter. We don't have any time to play it. There's other games coming out. And really, I should probably play Silent Hill 2 from last year that I have a copy for sitting here collecting dust.
We'll have to put it to a vote whose segue would have been better.
So, word on the street is Konami and Bloober Team are now working on a new game together following the success of Silent Hill 2. We don't know if it's another Silent Hill game. Bloober Team literally just makes horror games. Apparently, Bloober Team has another game coming out this year, which I find hard to believe. But do you recall the state of play that me and you watched? That when we started the podcast, and it was like literally a week after Silent Hill 2's release, and they showed Chronos: The New Dawn, which kind of looked a little like Dead Space, but it takes place in like 1980s Poland. That's apparently set to release later this year. And now they're already like, I feel like I'm so happy for Bloober Team. They like really, I feel like they really got they're like going to be a core survival horror developer.
They're going to be like RGG Studios. Another one.
So we don't know if it's a Konami IP. We don't know if it's a Silent Hill game, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. You know? It must be some sort of horror related game.
Yeah, so. This one sold, I think, 2 million copies a month after it's we reported on that a month after its release or something, or by the end of 2025,
definitely made money.
Which is definitely good. I mean, better than Alan Wake 2, which didn't sell in 2 million until like recently. So yeah, they made their money back on that one. Happy for Konami, happy for Bloober Team, happy for the Silent Hill sickos out there. Those are some good dev and publisher news. Let's get into some of the nasty dev and publisher news. Because we already talked about our favorite three. Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, and EA. Warner Brothers, we already discussed. But we got some news from Ubisoft. Hit us with this one, Durwin, because you sent this to me.
Yeah. So, apparently, Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's some physical copies out there in the wild. A bunch of gameplay footage was leaked online, and yeah, it's just bad news for. You
1
can't keep
month.
anything under wraps with this game.
1 month before it comes out, physical copies leaked, released in the wild 1 month before it comes out.
Yeah,
People were selling it on eBay, bro. Did you see that?
I didn't see any
There
of the
was
listings.
copies going up on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. There was
Jeez.
listings, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's people streaming it.
Apparently, they warned that like the footage that's shown online doesn't include a day one patch, but like, I mean,
Well, what's your day one patch going to change? It's basically the game.
yeah,
I think they were freaking
bug
out that maybe
fixes.
if there was bugs or stuff, they were going to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, our game's going to get a bad rap. But
I mean, at this point, like, I feel like it's already gone like as bad as a rap that it can really get. Like,
yeah,
unless the game is unplayable day one without the day one patch, then like,
yeah.
game over.
Are you getting Assassin's Creed Shadows day one? Oof.
Please don't make me do it. But I don't. I've heard some good things from like people that have played it. They say that it's like not a bad game.
Yeah, I've heard good things too.
Yeah.
It's just a time thing.
Yeah.
It's
just bad timing for everything that they're doing. It
seems like every release is right now is bad timing. Because like you got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter that I want to play as well, and this. Between these three, it's like, yo, these are gonna like one of these will take me like a month plus to finish. Whereas it's like maybe I just want to play like the 20-hour games that are all coming out, you know? Like we still have like this year alone, Split Fiction, First Berserker Kazan, Atom Fall, Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Clair Obscure, like just up to an Elden Ring Night Rain. This is just to June. Like it's so many games, and I'm just like, okay, even if Assassin's Creed Shadows is good, where am I going to fit it? Where am I going to find the time to play this game? Right?
Yeah. It'll affect sales for sure because people will just buy it later.
So if you could follow us and make us be something big, then I could quit my job and I can play all these games.
Talking about something big.
Yes. This is
some big bad news. Maybe good news for gamers.
Yeah.
But EA has put Dragon Age: The Veilguard on PS Plus. And that's the essential tier. So this is the one where you pay, what is it? Like
$90 a year.
$90 a year and you get Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Months, literally months after the release.
September or December or November, December, January, February. 4 months after it's come out. Came out October 31st. Yeah. This is for the PS Plus Essential March catalog, which also included, I think, that TMNT game that I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah, that one, it was coming out too for Essential, right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection and Sonic Colors Ultimate, which my wife bought a copy for on the Switch 2 and didn't play. Or Switch, not Switch. I'm already saying Switch. Yeah. Crazy, man. So we already know, we've already discussed Dragon Age on this podcast. It failed to meet expectations. It undersold significantly. Basically, a lot of the studio got laid off. They kind of worded it interestingly. BioWare downsized to a number smaller than it ever has been since, I don't know, the early 2000s. They're only working on Mass Effect right now. There's no other game in co-development. The lead on Dragon Age quit as well, or left right after the game launched. Wasn't very good, unfortunately. I'm going to get to try it now. My friend made a joke. He's like, are you going to finally play Dragon Age? And then my other buddy was like, well, he's not going to play a game like that. And then I'm like, no. When games get added to PS Plus that are crap, I make it my business to try them to find out why they were crap.
No, they have to threaten that it's getting taken off in a few months, and then you'll start it.
I played Gollum when they added the trial to the PS Plus, like the biggest tier. I can't remember what it was. Premium or whatever.
Premium, yeah.
I hate these tier names, bro. Just call it bronze, silver, gold for something.
Yeah, it just needs to be simple.
Yeah. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. If you haven't tried that, listen to our review or Durwin's review from back in November and give it a shot on PS Plus. We reported on this other news story last week about NetEase laying off and closing some of their subsidiaries or some of the studios that they fund. We were really worried for Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream's come out saying that they are unaffected by these changes at NetEase. This is the developer of Detroit Become Human. Currently should be working on Star Wars Eclipse. I saw that game, I think, in 2021 as well, and haven't heard anything about it since. But also the developer of Heavy Rain from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay, apparently. So
yeah.
we'll
I
see.
mean, Detroit Become Human or whatever is pretty good. I've played that one. Yeah, just glad that they're still kicking.
Yeah,
Given
my
all these
brother-in-law loves
closures.
that game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really did. Have you seen the trailers for Star Wars Eclipse? It looks really good, but it's been like years.
Yeah, it's been a while since anything's come out, so we'll have to see.
Well, things at Crafton aren't exactly the same because the Callisto Protocol studio has suffered some layoffs, but quote unquote remains operational. So just to reiterate, so the studio is called Striking Distance Studios. So Striking Distance Studios history. Matt Scoville founds the studio. Matt Scoville was like, he used to work for EA and he was the lead on the original Dead Space. He founds this studio, and basically, I don't know if they get bought out or whatever by Crafton, or if Crafton funded the whole thing. They released Callisto Protocol in 2022. Callisto Protocol was a game I highly anticipated. It looked really good. It looked very visceral, very beautiful survival horror game at the same time, and it was coming from the guy who's making Dead Space, right? Comes out, does not get good reviews. It gets like 6s. Apparently, it was very linear. There wasn't really much to do but go in a straight line and just fight these guys over and over again. And even the fighting was kind of weird. And apparently, there's a lot of like issues on PC. Game didn't do very great. Obviously, it also got like added to PS Plus. I don't know how long after. And then, I kept calling him Matt Schofield. It's Glenn Schofield. Basically, he left after that. They released another game after he left last October, and it was a spin-off for Callisto Protocol called Redacted. It was a top-down roguelike, survival roguelike, completely different genre.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They were going to do that and then work on another full-size game, but it looks like I don't know how they're going to work on the full-size game. They're saying it remains operational, but most of the devs were laid off. So I don't know. That doesn't bode well. That kind of sounds like a Wonder Woman story.
Yeah,
Monolith
just
Studio
eventually
story.
closure. Give it some time.
So that's some news about all our lovely publishers out there. We can move on to some news directly about Steam. Steam now lets players filter out games that use generative AI. So on SteamDB, you could now, if you want to do a search or whatever, you could filter out generative AI. Because of this new feature, Black Ops 6 has been outed for using generative AI. We don't know exactly what it is, but apparently there is some speculation that it's still image of this Santa Claus on a loading screen. It's a zombie Santa Claus. He has 6 fingers, so.
Oh, that's like a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah, so I don't know. How do you feel about generative AI in games? I feel like it's.
I mean, I think it's a tool that can be used. So like I'm not like completely against it, but like if it's taking away jobs from actual like developers, then yeah, I have a problem with it. But if it's like a tool that they're using just to like make their jobs easier so that they can focus on different aspects of the game, then I feel like that's probably fine.
Actually,
Your thoughts?
that interview that I shouted out earlier in the podcast with Matt Piscatella, he does
Mm-hmm.
discuss this a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like capitalism is capitalism. You're gonna make the most money with the least amount of expenses. So if it's gonna govern, it's gonna drive the market. If you could make games using generative AI and not using developers that are good and that are as good as games that developers make, I'm sorry, that's how it's gonna go.
Mhm.
And it's gonna feel weird knowing that you're playing a game that a person didn't specifically curate. But what can I say? If they make good enough games, then uh,
Yeah, it's just a pass and people will buy it still probably.
do you remember that GDC survey that we discussed a few episodes ago? In January, yeah, nearly 50% of developers said they were using generative AI tools in their
Mhm.
workplace. So I don't know, man. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. We have no
Mhm.
choice.
Yeah. Black Ops 6 is also going to do what it's going to do.
Exactly.
Season 3 release date March 20th.
March 20th, and I want to discuss this specifically because Verdansk returns. And they're saying it's pretty much the March 2020 version of the game. Did you play Call of Duty Warzone back in March 2020 as soon as
I did
COVID dropped?
not.
Dude, that was a core COVID memory. We got sent home from work. I think it was March 13th. March, and at some point in time after that, Warzone drops for Call of Duty, and it was just Warzone every single day. It was crazy. This is exciting. This might get me to come back and play a little bit of Warzone or a little bit of COD. I've since stopped. I think I told you already. Still downloaded on my Xbox, but yeah, looking forward to this.
So
Uh,
Verdansk is
it's the OG map
oh, okay.
from Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. The 2019 Call of Duty was called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It was the reboot, and this wasn't their first time trying battle royale. It was their second time. The first time was the game before, Black Ops 4. They had a game mode called Blackout. Blackout functioned a little differently than Warzone. There was really no ability to come back. Once you died, you died. It was it.
Mm.
And your guns were, you would just pick up bare guns on the floor, and you would have to pick up attachments, and you add your attachments to the guns to change things around. Yeah. But yeah, Verdansk that didn't pick up that much Blackout, but Verdansk really picked up. And it went free to play, so it was separate from the base game. You didn't need to own the base game to play it. Yeah. And more Call of Duty news. Word on the street is the 2025 Call of Duty is still being developed for last gen consoles. Holy smokes, man. If anything is an indicator as to how slow this console generation has kicked off and how hard it's been to get people to buy the new console and move on, it's this, man. Like, they're still making this game for PS5 and Xbox One.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like Call of Duty, a game that literally like releases basically every single year, is still working on last gen consoles. Like what?
I thought they stopped the last one. Another year for the old system. Yeah, it's nuts. 2025. I mean, we're theoretically 2 years away from the PS6. If they follow the 7-year console cycle, we are 2 years away from the PS6. They're still making PS4 games.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the socio-economic landscape plays out, and like
Oh,
maybe we will get a longer
yeah, I
console
could see
generation.
I could see the PS6 getting
Yeah,
delayed.
yeah,
At that point, then I would regret not buying the Pro.
yeah. Oh, we should tell the listeners how close I was to buying a Pro.
This guy was gonna buy a Pro yesterday, or was it the
Yeah,
day before?
yeah. I sent Mo the ad and everything. It was like a trade. Like he wanted to trade like the just the base model PS5 for a Pro with some cash on top, and I was like, oh man, if I did not buy this iPad Pro, like,
Did you see that other ad I sent you? Someone was selling it for
yeah,
850 Canadian dollars, which is
yeah,
pretty cheap considering how much it goes for.
yeah. I mean, I think even the ad that I had originally sent you, the guy wanted 800 for it. So like, man, like that's a pretty steep cut,
Yeah.
and maybe in a few coming months, I might have a Pro to play with, but I don't know.
Durwin.
We'll see.
Yeah. Just don't get it,
Don't
bro.
do it.
Just don't. Speaking of Call of Duty, we got some more news from Activision Blizzard. This Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 thing, bro, it's legit. It's done. I mean, freaking Tony Hawk himself was marketing it. He was walking and he had the symbol 3/4/2025 behind him. It's been rated in Singapore. It's
So I
coming
guess
out,
the
and it's coming
question
out
is, do
soon.
you think it's gonna be that March? Was it what date
Is
was it?
March 4th?
March
Is it
4th,
going to
right?
come out March 4th or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
teased March 4th?
Or just like official trailer.
Would that be crazy if they drop it that day? It's going to be a trailer for sure, but if they drop it that day onto the service, onto Game Pass, woo,
Yeah, that'd be insane.
wow, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I love these like secret drops, you know?
Oh, they're so fire. They're so hype.
Yeah, the hype is real.
Speaking of speaking of you not buying a PS5 Pro, you also should not be buying Nvidia graphics card. Because word on the street now, no, sorry, I'll take that back. That's not word on the street. That's Nvidia themselves saying that 1 in 200 of its new Series 50 GPUs are missing some rendering units. 1 in 200. I'm not willing to take that risk, bro. On a $3,000 graphics card. That is crazy, man.
Yeah, that's only if you can find a 5090 to buy.
It's true.
It's still like insane to even think about picking one up. There's like conspiracy theories for Canada Computers out like east that the staff are like basically like not scanning it into inventory so that people can track like how much they have. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's wild west out there for getting one of these cards.
Oh my god, they're so expensive. Yo, I thought I had a dream. I built a PC and I bought a 5070.
Yeah. Well, the dream may be still alive because AMD has announced their 9070 and 9070 XT. Doesn't compare up to 5090, but for the price to value aspect, it is really looking solid. We'll have to see what final reviews are like, but
these are way more reasonable Canadian dollar prices.
Yeah. So the 9070 and 9070 XT, like it's very clear that people should be buying this 9070 XT. It's $50 USD more, but performance wise on paper looks like it's like the clear choice. They needed to price this 9070 like $100 cheaper in order to like really push people away from just going for the XT model. Yeah. But it's got next gen like ray tracing. They are still one gen behind like Nvidia, and then it's got FSR 4.0, which is like their frame gen. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested. It's 1,200. It looks like for the XT model.
USD.
And that's Canadian. That's Canadian. So yeah, our dollars is so crap, but it was supposed to be 549 USD and 599 USD. Yeah, we're looking at 1,200, I think, is what the leaked prices are.
Well, it's 865 USD. Yeah.
Is it 865 for the cheapest model?
Or no.
No. The XT is what you want, and it's looking like it's 1,100, 1,049 is what I'm seeing. So about $1,000. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that's man. This Trump, please don't put tariffs on us, please. Please, Daddy.
Yeah.
Trump's lost his mind, bro. This guy's having a shouting match with Zelensky in the freaking Oval Office.
Yeah.
I have something else to say, but join my future world politics podcast.
I think you'd be a pretty good job at it. More so like the Middle Eastern politics, but
yeah. But I mean, it's all tied in, like Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean,
Russia, Middle East, USA, everything is all linked.
Mm-hmm.
So, rounding up with some smaller news, Balatro and Luck Be a Landlord, which is a game I'm not familiar with, have both won their PEGI rating appeals. So recently, we reported that Balatro got a PEGI 18 rating. PEGI is basically the rating system, I believe, either in Europe or the UK, right? Over here, we have ESRB, and they have like different rating classes, but it had PEGI 18, and it looks like they switched it. They dropped it to PEGI 12, and basically, PEGI acknowledges the findings of the Complaints Board Appeals Panel in regards to the implementing of the classification of these games. PEGI system continue, but yeah, blah blah blah. Basically, they were saying it has gambling in it, and then the Balatro developer I can't remember his name, Thunk something. Basically said like no, yeah, and appealed it, and he won. So good for him. Congratulations to him. And yeah, the Piggy Complaints Board says, although the game explains various hands of poker, the roguelike deck building game contains mitigating, fantastical elements. So let your 12-year-olds play Bellatra.
Yeah. I'll teach them poker.
Sky Oblivion, which is the fan remake of Oblivion in Skyrim's engine, will apparently launch in 2025. I thought this was an interesting news story because we did report earlier in the year that Oblivion itself was getting an official remake from Xbox. So, yeah, you could check out the gameplay demo for this. It's on YouTube. Looks pretty cool, man. But apparently the guy who's been working on this, or the guys who've been working on this, have been doing it for a long time. You know, it's just a passion project. So maybe they expedited this release because of these rumors of an official Oblivion release.
Mm-hmm. Get some exposure.
Do you remember what happened with Resident Evil? There was this game called Daymare or Day something, which was basically a Resident Evil fan-made kind of spiritual successor, but nobody knew that Capcom was actually planning on remaking all these Resident Evil games, and basically came out with like Resident Evil 2, so that game had to like change the way it
can't even see the light of day at that point. It's like you might as well not release it.
Yeah. Steam Next Fest is ongoing right now, and you can play a bunch of demos on Steam. This is also a little bit indie oriented like me, but there's some good stuff. Post Trauma, which is like this survival horror game that was supposed to come out last year, but it got delayed. There's this PUBG Blind Spot. I don't know if you saw this. It's like a tactical shooter. The Gothic remake. There's a demo out for that. And lots of more cool stuff. I think it goes on till I can't remember when the date was, but if you're on Steam, you're probably aware. Is the Seat Taken? That's also a pretty cool little indie game. Lots of games. Deliver at all cost. Yeah, so if you want to give those a try, just a reminder. And lastly, some two maybe games adjacent news stories. But we got Andor Season 2 trailer drop, and it is dated for April 22nd. I am so excited for this. Durwin, are you a Star Wars guy?
And I am a Star Wars guy.
Have you specifically?
But I'm not an Andor's guy, which is crazy.
Have you watched?
I never got into. I tried watching the first episode and I couldn't get into it. Yeah,
bro,
I've heard great things about
it.
Dude,
Andor is the best live action Star Wars thing that, like, Star Wars show that's come out. Period. It's better than Mandalorian. It's better than Obi-Wan. It's better than what was the other one?
Please don't even bother saying Ahsoka.
It was better than Ahsoka. I didn't think Ahsoka was that bad. I didn't mind Ahsoka.
Yeah. They also had Pirate or Skeleton Crew come out recently.
Skeleton Crew, come out recently. I haven't watched Skeleton Crew. What was the one that came out like late last year that was absolute garbage? They canceled the next season. It's better than Book of Boba Fett. It's better than them all. It is the best. Now, I'm not saying some of these are bad. I think Mandalorian is great. I love the Mandalorian. But yeah, so like, and I actually
the one to watch basically.
But this is the one to. Oh, the Acolyte. The Acolyte was the one that came out.
Oh yeah, that one was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, Skeleton Crew. I should watch that. Let me add that to the list. But yeah, I'm so excited for Andor. Oh my god, Andor is like literally, as far as Star Wars goes for me, like besides the OG trilogy and like, I mean, I also like the prequel trilogy as well.
Yeah, the prequel ones have definitely like made a comeback.
Trilogy.
It's insane.
Yeah, I obviously everybody hates the sequel trilogy. Like, what the hell even happened to that? But aside from those, and Rogue One, I really like Rogue One. Which Rogue One actually ties to Andor, right? And yeah, it's just the best. So I'm so excited for that. It's in April, literally. It's like that and
dude, it's literally the week before Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, bro, April's gonna be wild. Oh my god. No time to watch all these shows.
Yeah, and then Split Fiction too at the beginning of the month, right?
No, Split Fiction's in March. Split
Oh, in
Fiction's
March.
in a week. In a week.
Oh, in a week.
Yeah, but there are games in April. There's South of Midnight in the beginning of.
Oh yeah, yeah. I should probably pre-order Split Fiction actually.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna do one more pleading for Monster Hunter with the friends to see if anyone will play it.
Then I'll be doing the review on Split Fiction. We'll see.
I'm playing. I have to play Split Fiction anyway with my wife. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like we're both committed to that. Lastly, George R.R. Martin kind of. I feel like IGN was a little bit clickbaity with this title. They're like, George R.R. Martin teases Elden Ring movie and In the Lost Lands. Well, he mostly talked about In the Lost Lands, which is this upcoming film based on one of his previous works. Yeah, and then he talked a little bit about Elden Ring and basically said, movie, blah, blah, blah. I'd be excited to see an Elden Ring movie with George R.R. Martin doing some of the writing. So that, but it is happening. The movie is real. It's going to happen. But if you go in the comments on this, everybody was like, "What
He's
a
never gonna
butthole
finish
he
it.
is. He's never gonna finish." What's that?
He's
other
gonna
book?
die
Song
before
of
he
Fire and Iron?
finishes.
Yeah, he's gonna die before he finishes the Game of Thrones.
Game of
books.
Thrones. Yeah.
So.
It's
yeah, In the Lost Lands, it looks pretty cool. It's I think Batista stars in it. It looks like it's Batista.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Cool stuff. That is it for news stories this week. I feel like we had a lot of stories.
Yeah, we did.
Hour and 30.
But But we have nothing to really talk about in terms of games that we're playing. So we'll balance out.
I've played nothing this week. I haven't even opened I haven't even tried anything. I didn't even open my console. So
all right, so it'll be on me. I'm doing the heavy lifting this week.
You're doing the heavy lifting. Tell us what you played this week.
Last week, let's rewind to last week.
Okay.
You played Avowed.
I played Avowed. 4 hours.
We talked about how weird. Like I was interested in it, and you were interested in Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it seemed like we just reviewed the wrong game.
Yeah, I should have probably reviewed Kingdom Come.
Yeah. You should probably.
I'd probably be playing it right now. And it sounds like
So that made me pick up Avowed, or not really pick up, but like I just played
Game
it.
Pass.
Yeah. So I took a different approach than you in terms of everything. So I won't go through like the whole background anymore. Like if you want to hear that, just listen to Mo's like explanation. Character, I'll briefly touch on everything. Character creator, I don't care for either. I just picked a default, just rolled with it. It seemed like it had decent customization, not as in depth as some of the other in compared to like some of the other ones that are available. I thought the fungal infection was kind of pretty cool looking. World itself, beautiful, like you said.
Beautiful, yeah.
Like it actually kind of reminds me of Dragon Age Veilguard in terms of just color palette, very vibrant. There's like the actual landscape itself, beautiful. I do have to say I was a little bit disappointed that there was only like really four voices to pick from, 2 males, 2 female. Yeah, I mean they all sounded very similar too, so I was like, oh, I can't really hear the difference.
Your character doesn't really talk anyway though.
Yeah, I just picked any other one. Dialogue options, I feel like there was a lot of dialogue options.
There was. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. But that's why I couldn't figure out if I was actually doing anything with those dialogue options.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't figure it out either. Like at one point I just started like just pressing A because like I never got into the dialogue either. I was actually more interested in just like the overarching story more so. Like that interested me, but like the specific dialogue for like these side quests that you do, I'm like, dude, just tell me what I need to do for you so you shut the hell up. You know? Yeah, so I did actually spend more time on the side quests. They're kind of interesting. They add a little bit more depth to the world. I tried a bounty. I definitely was too under-leveled for it, and I was very close to actually beating it. I actually beat the bounty, but then like a bunch more henchmen came in and and they rocked me.
Ooh. Did you fight the
Um,
little dwarf guys?
I did fight the little dwarf
Yo,
guys.
they're
Yeah, yeah,
wild, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I fought those. I also fought like the skeleton group too, and I was like,
Oh, I didn't try skeletons yet.
yeah. And then I was trying to figure out the spider bounty as well. So I did get like decently.
You played more than me then,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I've
Because
I've definitely.
I didn't touch any of the side stuff. I just got to the capital,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I got sent on my next quest, and that was it.
Yeah, you were finding the watchers or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Like I did the,
like
I
spoiler
did.
alert. I guess it's not really a spoiler because it's like the beginning of the game, but you die immediately as you step into the capital.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's kind
yeah,
of to that point. That's where I got. Um,
yeah, yeah. So I explored more of the map and I explored more of the stuff. Like honestly, I found it more interesting than Kingdom Come Deliverance. There are caveats to though. I did play in
third
a
person.
third person view,
Yeah, I remember
so
like
I didn't
last
even
week.
touch first person.
So I think we actually have a very different experience when it comes to combat because I didn't touch third person, but in first person, that combat was spectacular. So I don't know how it translates to third person, and you really got me interested. I think I might hop back in and see what third person combat feels like.
Yeah, I honestly liked it as third person. So I do have gripes because obviously this game is developed mainly as like a first person title.
It's for sure, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so like not having a camera lock for some of the enemies or like all of the enemies, annoying as hell. And then second of all, like there's like the cursor that is involved with third person. So like if you are picking up something, you can't just be close and like press the pickup button. You actually have to move the cursor onto the item and then press pick up. So
Mm,
like just small quality of life
quality.
things that honestly, if they added, I would totally just play this game like well, I'm probably still gonna
Gonna
play this
play this
game
game.
as like a third person. I don't think I'm interested in seeing this game as a first person
I think you
at
have to give
all,
it a try.
actually.
I think you have to give it a try. And I think maybe you should probably try doing a combination of exploration in third person and combat in first person. Because the combat is just spectacular. The way you
In first
dodge,
person, hey?
the way you swing your sword, the way the enemies react, it feels so weighty. Oh man, it's just that game. I was
Interesting.
actually shocked by how good. I can't. If you're saying there's no lock, there's no camera lock, it makes sense that there's no camera lock in first person, no camera lock in third person, and I'm trying to see how that combat would translate. I feel like it would be a little bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's like in terms of like combat, like I didn't find like no like I found it a little bit annoying, but it wasn't like I want to put this game down annoying. I actually found the combat to be really good. There are some parallels to the combat with Dragon Age, which I didn't have any issue with. Like I actually didn't mind the combat for Dragon Age, but I just felt like Avowed did better in terms of the weapon choice in particular, because there's just so many ways that you could play Avowed. Like you can play as like bow and arrow. You can play as like magic. You can play as sword and board, like you said. Like there's even spears and like just two-handed swords or two-handed like axes, right?
What did you use? I was gonna ask. What was your
So I
go-to
did
by
use a
the end of your?
combination of sword and board and magic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so you had the grimoire and you had your wand as
yep,
one layout loadout,
yeah,
and then you had a shield and a sword. Did you
yeah, yeah.
what was your sword that you used? What weapon did you use?
It was just a common sword. I think I upgraded it once. I actually really liked bow and arrow too. So I would actually sometimes switch out the sword and board for bow and
Bow and
arrow.
arrow. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just because I found some enemies were actually like better to face with a bow and arrow.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like the bears. The bears are so easy when you like switch over to bow and arrow almost. You like bow and arrow them and then you like wait for your cooldown and then you just like spam fire and they're like
I would just
basically.
freeze them and then hit them with a couple of combos and then fire, fire
Yeah.
breath or
Again, like
whatever.
this shows like how much like variability that you could play. You could play with bow and arrow, you could play with a sword, and you like the I wanted to play with the gun next to see how that would play out. And then also dagger, because I just picked up a dagger as well.
think the dagger you start off with or something. You use it for a
Well,
little bit.
I didn't like bother playing with it. I probably picked one up earlier. I just like was so interested in figuring out like more of the spells
Yeah,
and playing
it's
around with it. Yeah.
pretty interesting stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm like,
So at the end of the day, like I'd rather play this over Kingdom Come. Like I actually quite enjoyed this. Like this is definitely a step above Dragon Age for me by like probably a decent amount, probably at least like 10 points. So like if I rated like Dragon Age at like 70-ish, mid 70s, because it was like an okay game, this is like definitely more playable, and I could actually see myself potentially playing this all the way through.
really want to see what Dragon Age is like. I'm gonna give it a try on PS Plus. I really want to just know like how bad this writing is. I want to compare it to Avowed.
Dude, the writing in Avowed is so much better.
Yeah,
Like
I imagine.
so much better. It's not even a competition.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I still get like this week I was like, do I play Avowed? Like I'm kind of on the fence with it. I'm just like I want to play Avowed, but then I am also like, well, it's kind of interesting, but it's not that interesting, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I still have so many games to play through. Like, I still want to finish Ghost of
yo,
Tsushima.
bro. I was actually
Tsushima. Like,
I
that's
had a
insane.
shower thought. I had a shower thought the other day, and I'm like, bro, I feel like I play everything and nothing now. That's literally how I game. I
Yeah,
play
because you want
everything
to play all these games for the
because I want to play
podcast.
everything. And the more I get into like industry news and more I get into like following stuff, I want to try it all out. But then like because I'm trying everything out, I don't actually have time to sit and play a full game, you know.
You know what the solution is? We just need to make money from this, and then all we do is play video games for a living.
Oh yeah, if I
But
had to
then,
do if I,
like, will that take away the enjoyment of video
yeah,
games and talking about video
as soon as
games,
it becomes
right?
a job, it's done. As soon as it
It's
becomes
like
a
a
job, it's done.
negative cycle that
Yeah.
starts. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, as soon
like
as you
I only
talk
get
about
really excited for this because I don't have to do it every single day.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, bro, gaming every single day is not that bad. It's still, even if I had to do that as a
Dude,
job.
gaming every single day for like 10 hours to finish a game is gonna be bad.
No, think about it. You do it in your actual work hours. So then I'm not doing this stupid stay up
Who says
late
I'm
shit.
not already doing that? Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Avowed, I'm just kind of on the fence. Like, I really like it, and then I really don't, and I don't really know where I'm at. Like, there's some things I love, and some things I'm kind of like, whatever. And like I said, like, it's just like there's so many games to play, and like, which one do I really want to spend my time? I think if Avowed was 10 hours long, I would have played it, and I would have beaten
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The sad point of it is like you look at the map, and I played like maybe like 8 hours so far, and I'm still like in the first area.
Yeah, I think there's 3 areas they said.
Yeah, and like the rest of the map is like unlocked or like locked still, and I'm like, that's a little bit depressing.
I heard the 3rd area is the best area.
Oh,
Yeah, so
so you have to play through the whole game to get through it.
it's like,
I
oh,
honestly would have liked it switched, so the third area is like the second area, and then that's the best area. Then at least your game is like interesting to
well,
get people to
it's not
finish.
like it's like that age old like thing of like the first 10 hours suck or the first 30 hours
Yeah.
suck, but after that the game gets really good. It's like, bro, the first 30 hours suck. Do you think what do you think I'm made out of? You think I have time to play a garbage game?
What game is like the perfect description of this? I think it's like Final Fantasy like Lightning, like the protagonist is Lightning. Is that 13?
Lightning Returns, or yeah, 13, yeah.
Is it 13?
13 is Lightning, yeah.
Yeah. That one, people say that like, dude, literally like the first 30 hours, it's a grind. And then once you like click with the combat system, it's like the best rewarding like combat system.
They're not lying.
Like,
I played it. They're not lying. It's actually true. It's actually like the grindiest garbage game for like I had it on 360. It was 3 discs. The first disc was horrendous. I pushed to the second disc. I got to the second disc. That's when it starts picking up a little. I go to get the third disc. My little cousin freaking damaged the disc, and I never managed to finish the game and play it. to the end. He literally took like a key to the CD. That's a long other story. I should save it for later. My cousin, he used to just like you couldn't have anything good around him.
Dude,
Yeah,
the character design for Final Fantasy 13 looked so good though back in the day.
Oh yeah, Lightning was a waifu.
Oh yeah. And like even the other characters, like super cool. The story what I heard was like a little bit convoluted, but
of course it was. Yeah,
of course it's Final Fantasy, right? So like
I this game I like loved hated it. Like at the beginning I was just like, this is just so dry. This is so it's crazy when I look at like screenshots of it. I thought this game looked amazing on the 360 back in the day. And now I look at it, I'm like, oh, this looks aged.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if AI gets into remastering, we'll see an actual remaster of this game. I would actually like play it if it actually did get remastered.
Oh, I would too.
Or remade, you know. Please, Square Enix, do us a solid.
Didn't we report about the one that they're apparently Final Fantasy IX is being remade? 7
Yeah,
style?
like 2 of them you said was
9
getting
and
remade or
Tactics.
whatever. So there's hope. I'm interested to see.
13, bro. This was in 2011. This game came out, right?
2009.
2009. Damn, that's right. Yeah, 2009.
Yeah, it might have been Final Fantasy Part 2.
Japan 2009. It came out 360 2010 in the West.
Okay, and then 13-2 or 13-2 is 2011 in Japan and 2012 in North America.
Oh, I never touched those. I played the first one, and I played like 50 to 70% of the first one. I can't remember how far you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week. I mean, Avowed, I definitely would play. So
gonna hop back on Avowed, huh?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play this after I eat something.
If I don't have anything from now till Split Fiction, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna play this next week.
Please, I want you to play Dragon Age. You made me play Avowed. I want you to play Dragon Age.
I'll play
to
Dragon
see.
Age.
I want you to experience and to see if you have the exact same thoughts as me.
I'll play Dragon.
I got to the dragon lady. That's as far as.
Oh, dude, I'm probably gonna play the game for maximum 3 hours. There's no way I could see myself like actually playing it like the amount you played it. There's no way, brother. When you get to the
I was actually like pretty like I don't think I was like super deep, but I think I played enough to really get like a grip of the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play a game enough to get I'm not gonna play it that much because when is it?
Honestly, the combat is not bad. I actually enjoyed the combat. It's a little bit like repetitive in terms of like there's only so much you can do with your build, like because there's a basically a pre-made set of skills. But like Avowed is just different. Like you can go back and rearrange and be a completely different build, right?
You're not locked into any type of which is nice. You're not locked into any type of like class.
Yeah, you can completely play a different play style. Like halfway through the game, even like you just pay like what is it, 100 gold? Like whatever, that's nothing.
Yeah, what's coming out here this next month? Split Fiction the 6th, Fragpunk. I want to try that on the 6th. Understop, that was one of the indie games I mentioned. Bionic Bay, that's another indie game. WWE 2K25, MLB The Show. 33 Immortals, we talked about that. Assassin's Creed Shadows, March 20th. Tales of the Shire, 25. Atom Fall, I want to try that, March 27. First Berserker Kazan, I want to try that as well. That's March 27. Mm-hmm. Karma, the Dark World.
Did you convince your wife to play Tales of the Shire?
Oh, I didn't bring that up to her. I will bring that up to her. It's on Game Pass. Did we say it was coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, maybe I'll talk to her. Karma, the Dark World, that's a survival horror game that I'm kind of interested in. It got a March 27 release date recently. April, South of Midnight, Descenders Next, Blueprints, Lush Foil Photography, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage Tape 2, Fatal Fury, Claire Obscure, that's going to be crazy. Gone Remastered. Did I tell you I was trying to like hunt a copy of PS4 Days Gone so I could play that remastered when it comes out?
Oh, really?
I couldn't get one, man. They don't like sell them anywhere. I couldn't find like a copy
Even
of
on
Days Gone.
Facebook Marketplace.
I tried, but everybody who had it posted it was already sold. But like I'm talking like a brand new copy, I couldn't find one.
Why do you want a brand new copy? Just get a used copy. Oh, what?
Because I couldn't find a used copy.
Dang. Yeah, you're right. There's not that many.
There's not.
Or at least here in Calgary, it looks like.
Yeah, and then like look at this. I'm like on some websites, Days Gone PS4 copy for $50. Get the hell out of here.
Just buy the full remake version.
Yeah, what's the point, right? Because remember when they did this for the Uncharted?
Mm-hmm.
I went to GameStop and bought a copy of Uncharted 4 for $15 and then did the upgrade for $15. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Days Gone, and then there's
yeah, I'm excited for you to finally play that game. Like, I think if you actually do commit like the first few hours, you'll really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it.
I never thought I wouldn't enjoy it. I never got to it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came out like around the same time Sekiro came out or something, and I picked that one up instead. If I recall correctly, I think that's what happened. It was 2019, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then I heard just bad things from the reviews. Yeah. Into May, Midnight Walk, Revenge of the Savage Planet, Doom of the Dark Ages, Oshimuna 2 Remaster, Elden Ring Night Rain, Lost Soul Aside. Bro, we're cooking this year.
Yeah, like all these ones are sold for Days Gone.
Yeah, I just don't see it anywhere.
Yeah.
I already did that look.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it because I'm curious too. I want to replay it. Maybe.
Do you have a hard copy of Days Gone?
No, I played it on PS Essentials. Yeah, the PS Essentials.
Version. And they basically said if you have, that's why I want a hard copy, because if you have the PS Essentials version, you don't get the free upgrade. Because I had the same thing with Uncharted. I had the PS Essentials version of Uncharted, but it was like no free upgrade for you, so I had to go buy.
Oh yeah, I had the Uncharted, so I just paid for that. But yeah, now that you bring it up, I should probably hunt a copy because I do like. Is there co-op in that game for upcoming? So. That would be fun. Me and you co-oping, killing some zombies.
At the same time, like I'm also thinking, what's the rush? They're gonna add it to PS Extra anyway, like they did with the Uncharted collection. Anyways, that's our show for today, Saturday, March 1st. Thanks for joining us again, guys. You could follow us at the Slow Run Cast on Instagram and everywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. We appreciate your support, and tell your friends and family that are into video gaming, and if they want to kind of keep in touch with what's going on in the industry and maybe hear some thoughts and words we have to say about new upcoming releases, we appreciate the support, and we look forward to joining us every week. We drop our episodes Mondays, Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays. But yeah. Anything else, Durwin?
No. We are excited for your review next week of
oh my
Dragon Age Veilguard.
Don't.
I'm locking you in.